Natalee and Holloway was an 18-year-old honors student from Mountain Brook, Alabama. In May 2005, she traveled to Aruba with 124 classmates to celebrate their high school graduation. The trip was meant to be carefree, a final adventure before heading to college at the University of Alabama. Natalee was known for her bright energy, responsibility, and close-knit bond with her friends and family. On May 29th, just hours before the group was scheduled to return home, Natalee was seen leaving the popular nightclub Carlos and Charlie's with three young men, Joran van der Sloot and brothers, Deepak and Satish Kalpoe. Witnesses observed her getting into their silver Honda. That moment would be the last verified sighting of Natalee Holloway. The next morning, Natalee did not show up for her flight home. Her friends alerted chaperones immediately. Airport staff searched the terminal, but she was nowhere to be found. Her luggage was still packed. Natalee's mother, Beth Holloway, was contacted and boarded a flight to Aruba the same day. Within hours of landing, Beth made her way directly to Joran van der Sloot's home with the Aruban police. Joran told officers he had dropped Natalee off at her hotel the previous night, a statement that later shifted multiple times over the course of the case. The search for Natalee began that day and quickly became one of the largest in Aruban history. Aruban authorities, U.S. officials, volunteers, and specialized teams joined the search for Natalee. They combed beaches, forests, desert terrain, and coastal areas. Helicopters, sonar equipment, and search dogs were deployed. Tourists and locals formed long human chains across the sand, hoping for any trace of the missing teen. Despite the scale of the effort, no physical evidence was recovered. Aruban police questioned more than a dozen individuals and executed searches around ponds, abandoned buildings, and the homes of the last people to see Natalee. Every lead seemed to collapse as quickly as it appeared. Over the following weeks, Joran van der Sloot and the Kalpoe brothers were arrested multiple times on suspicion related to Natalee's disappearance. Each time they were released due to lack of evidence. Their statements about the night varied, but nothing they provided led to Natalee or new physical clues. Investigators held press conferences, often under intense international scrutiny. The case drew massive U.S. media attention, turning the island into a global focus. Still, no body, no weapon, and no definitive crime scene emerged. Without concrete evidence, the case stalled repeatedly. Natalee's family remained on the island for months. They organized private search teams, hired investigators, and worked closely with both American and Aruban authorities. Beth Holloway conducted interviews, placed posters across the island, and met with officials daily, refusing to let the case fade. The emotional toll was immense. Despite exhaustive efforts, the family received no confirmed leads. Tips poured in from across the world, none verified. The disappearance of Natalee Holloway became one of the most widely discussed missing persons cases of the decade. Natalee's disappearance sparked international debate about safety for young travelers, investigative procedures abroad, and the challenges families face when a loved one vanishes outside their home country. Aruba faced heavy public pressure, and officials repeatedly emphasized their effort despite limited physical evidence. U.S. television programs covered the case continuously. Interviews, timelines, and appeals filled national news cycles. The story remained active long after many similar investigations went dormant, due in large part to the family's persistence and the endless stream of unanswered questions. Years passed with no confirmed trace of Natalee. In 2010, Joran van der Sloot was arrested in Peru for the murder of 21-year-old Stephanie Flores. He claimed responsibility for the murder of Natalee in a later confession, but his account has never been independently verified, and Natalee Holloway's remains have never been located. In 2012, an Alabama judge legally declared Natalee Holloway dead at the request of her father, Dave Holloway. The decision did not bring closure, only a formal recognition of the nearly 7 years without answers. The legal declaration changed nothing about the mystery. No remains had been located. No one had been charged with causing her disappearance. Despite global attention, the case remained open-ended, with investigators continuing to review information whenever it surfaced. Natalee Holloway's story remains one of the most haunting, unresolved disappearances of the 21st century. Her case reshaped how missing persons investigations are handled abroad and inspired safety reforms for student travel organizations. To this day, Natalee's family continues to honor her memory while advocating for missing persons worldwide. Though much time has passed, the world still remembers Natalee, the vibrant young woman whose final night in Aruba became an unanswered chapter in true crime history. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment, because behind every case is a family waiting for answers. Keep sharing their names, keep asking questions. Together, we bring light to the missing and truth to the unknown.